Shalom, shalom. This week's Parsha is Parshat Ki Teitzei, and it contains a whole bunch of commandments that basically boils down to common decency for other people, other nations, your wives, your children, your every relation. There's different laws, even your possessions and animals and all sorts of things. And all of these laws really boil down to being a good, not just moral, ethical, and compassionate person. And, I would like to think that we wouldn't need these to be commandments, but let's face it, I know myself, sometimes I'm lazy or have other reasons that would compel me not to do certain things that are the better things to do. But, if I know it's commanded from God, it's a whole other story. So apparently we do need to be commanded with certain basic things to be considerate of everybody and everything. And I want to take a minute really to look at the vows that are mentioned in this week's parsha. And it talks about when a person takes a vow to God. And this has very specific requirements, but I think there's a lot to learn out of it homiletically and in what we say and what we do and how we interact with people. Because when it's talking about a vow here that a person might make to God, let's say to bring a certain sacrifice or whatever, and God tells him to hishamer, to guard it, and to be sure that he does whatever it is that comes out of his mouth, he has to be vigilant. He has to make sure that he does this. And it really hit me because I'm like, if someone's taking a vow, I think that's pretty a good sign that they're taking this thing very seriously. Why does God have to go with this language of guard it, make sure you do everything that you say? And it's a very strong verse. And I was reflecting on it, and I started to think, well, why does somebody make a vow in the first place? I mean, think of people with one another, right? If I come and say, I'm going to, pick you up on Sunday morning, I swear to it, I'm going to pick you up. What does that say? I mean, first of all, if I'm a person of my word and I've developed a reputation, people will know I'm not saying something I'm not going to do. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Now, if I feel the need to take a vow, it shows myself that I have an insecurity, that I know that I am not reliable, and therefore I must make a vow. But there could also be, if you think about it, other reasons that people might make a vow. Maybe I am very trustworthy. Maybe I am a person of my word. But I'm talking to someone who I know is highly insecure for whatever reason, and therefore I make a vow to, in an effort to have them feel comforted. Like, don't worry, I promise you. Maybe that will make them feel better. I swear to you, I'll do this. And I think then that those words, in order for this lesson to apply, make sense also. Because if you're going to tell somebody who's highly insecure, who has had bad experiences, who doesn't trust, and you're going to make a vow to them, then it could be that come life situations and things could be difficult, and for whatever reason it might be difficult for you to do. But if you've told that person who has this negative bias about people and that he can't trust people or she can't trust people, and you've told them that you're going to do something, you have to be really careful to go out of your way, no matter what. Guard it with your life. Make sure you do that. Don't confirm their negative bias. Don't be a reason why a person has more mental issues in this world. We have to think, we have to be considerate, we have to know what we're saying, who we're talking to. All this takes into account who we are, knowing ourselves, knowing other people, how to interact, and it all makes a difference. But most importantly, and I mean this with every fiber of my being, most importantly is on a basic level, even without a vow, if you say something, do it. So really be careful not to say things, haphazardly. Be careful what comes out of your mouth. And if something's coming out of your mouth, okay, if you want respect of other people, if you want to be a person who's created in the image of God, then come, forward and do the things that you say that you're going to do, okay? Obviously, sometimes there are situations where things are, unavoidable, and that happens. And that will be understood if the fullness of your nature is that you show that you're a trustworthy person of your word. But words, as it says, words, we know, again, God created this world, this universe, everything that exists with words. And so too do we, by affecting how people think, what's going on, the chain of events. So let's, especially Elul time, let's watch what we say, okay? Think before we speak, and only say things that we are pretty much sure that are truths or that can be done if we're saying that we're going to do something. Don't just throw in a bli neder after everything you do. That's not worth much. Also, you have to mean what you say. It's nice to say bli neder if you're forced to say that you will be doing. I will meet you tomorrow, bli neder, and you will do everything in your power to do that. Obviously, it's a nice thing to say, but be careful. Watch what you say. Be a person of your word, and life will be a lot better. Shabbat shalom.